think that movement is very crucial in art and inspiration of art and inspiration of people as well. Discovering, meet people's culture is always full of suggestion for creativity and also for people in try to understand, also deeply understand people around the world, but at the same time themselves. You have done a lot of time in your life, in your research on your work of art to me. You traveled a lot, and that was very crucial.
In photography, at least in a lot of what I do and what I want to try and do, there's certain elements that make up a great picture. There's, of course, light. There's a composition, shapes, and design. But I always try and keep it some kind of a little bit, have some movement, something that keeps things off balance a bit. I try to keep things at times not static, not still, sort of a tension. So movement, gesture is crucial to sometimes making an image seem spontaneous and offhanded and casual and that serendipitous moment and not fixed and frozen, but a sense of movement, a sense of something that's in motion. That's very important.
Yes, it's important because that's crucial. Movement is connected with emotion. You know that in Milano we have the Last Supper, and Leonardo da Vinci told us that movement is a kind of expression of soul, could express people, and I truly love this point of view.
So I think this project was really fascinating to me because the idea was to show the kind of the whole people around the world coming and going from this airport, Malpensa. So it was really a chance to really get the whole world in this project and to show really our similarities, but also our differences, how we dress the same, but we also dress differently, how we look. And it was a fascinating, to literally set up a studio here in the various parts of the airport and to just randomly select and request people to sit for our little studio. Really kind of a way of showing the whole world here in just one project.
Very interesting. Also, the idea to have a quite extended selection of portraits of people, like expression of the humanity. So your vision that the crossing of the people in a place could add value and create a new kind of heritage, a modern heritage, in the connection, in the taking care of people. In portrait is something like that. It's a moment in which a person could be like a king. So I think that your work in here is very interesting, and it has a very straight vision and a strong message.
I think one's sort of preconceived idea, one's vision of Milan and who lives here and who travels here, it's actually quite different from what I found. I mean, I found that, people from all over the world traveled here leaving from here. And I was really surprised that the range of where these flights were going. I mean, literally all over the world. So I guess my vision of Milan has changed based on the fact that I was here in the airport witnessing all these flights going one after the other all over the world all the time, almost 24 hours. It was really an amazing sort of spectacle to witness.
Yes, it's true. In Milano, recently, Milano, there is a kind of inner beauty. Historically, it was a town that used not to express its beauty, but recently, perhaps after Expo, okay, we started to be more confident with this sense of inner beauty for art, for people, and yes, I firmly understand your point of view, and I completely agree. Milano was changed a lot in the last 2 decades, and we understood that also looking to the museums, because people started to visit not only from Milano but all around the world. They started to be in Milan and to visit the museum. For example, in the La Supper Museum, the 70% of people is coming from abroad. And, because that kind of painting is so iconic, and it became a part of heritage of all the people around the world. And we started also to change the way to approach people. We started to involve them in our heritage, in our masterpieces, like a place to understand this culture and also the role of Milan in Italy and its not common characteristics.
Well, I think that one thing I've always been drawn to is sort of preserving the memory or the heritage of a place or a people or a culture, because I think having some record, some document, preserving, having some knowledge of our heritage so that we can go back in the future and look and see how we once lived. But that heritage, to have that history, I think it's really important to know where we've come from, who we were, because we can learn so much from the past. I think it's to not know your history. Italy has preserved its heritage, I think, better than any other country in the world.
Yes, thank you. It's of course for us Italian we receive a heritage that is unbelievable in terms of opportunities, connection with the past, and also lots of beautiful place, but also lots of memories, documents, library, and we would like to share it for the next generation. And we firmly believe that heritage memories are a kind of a power bank for the future, to help people to deeply understand each other, to believe, to be part of a beautiful and not ordinary place that could help them to find also their point of view on the world. Milano is for us a kind of a nature-born museum, because thanks to Ludovico il Moro, for the great people from the past, we received lots of beautiful and unbelievable heritage and gods. The way to approach the conservation of our heritage is very specific in Milan, because we used to apply lots of knowledge taken from science, taken from lots of fields of scientific point of view, and to relate it with the future. Recently, in our museum, we decided to have close to the masterpieces, Raffaello, Piero della Francesca, Caravaggio, the most important painter. We recently decided to have Giorgio Armani exhibition. And that was our idea, to let the people understand that creativity, art, is a never-ending heritage, and you should improve also for the next generation the idea that states like Italy is deeply focused to the future, not to the past. And so we love to meet artists, people like you, to improve also that kind of languages that are crucial for also in the taking care of the past.
One of the great things about art or photography is when you see a photograph or a painting, you can make up your own story. You can interpret it in any way you want. You can see it. You can look at it and see something which maybe somebody else wouldn't see. You create a fantasy, some kind of story, giving something meaning. You're interpreting it in your own personal way, which may not be at all what the artist intended, but that doesn't matter because it's there and you can do whatever you want with it because you're supposed to respond to a piece of music or whatever in your own personal ways.
It's true, and thanks. I'm so interested in your definition of that because you perfectly said that interpretation is a kind of land of freedom, and art used to do that, to allow people to find freedom, to be confident with their idea, their point of view on the world.
Sometimes images are sort of ambiguous, and you're not quite sure what you're looking at, so you're striving to give it meaning, and because it's not clear, so you don't quite know what it means, what it meant, and you kind of make up your own interpretation.
Yes, and Leonardo da Vinci was very great in suggest this kind of ambiguity because of that, because that's what is an idea, to suggest people to be free in their interpretation and also to suggest new meanings. And after more than 5 centuries, people used to find new interpretation daily, and that is a way to keep alive a masterpiece, to keep alive the work like you have done. Interpretation is a way to let one masterpiece, to let one collection of images that you have done always on time, always alive.